Matt Ryan offense, Derek Stingley versus Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be a thing of beauty. I am going to watch. I am going to watch that matchup with clear eyes and an open heart because I love both of those players. I love both of their physicalities at the position. And I just love both of them so much. Will Derek Stingley be traveling? If I'm Lovie Smith and he's my third overall pick, I asked that of Derek Stingley. I asked that. You're supposed to be the alpha. You were an alpha at LSU. You were an alpha that you told us in the interview process of the draft. Let's see it. Travel their number one corner, who's expected to have a huge breakout season. Follow that number one corner. I want to see that for Derek Stingley's performance and Michael Pittman's performance because that's going to be one hell of a matchup. Other than that, I don't have too much, man. This game should be over in the third quarter. I'll just say that.
Yeah, for sure. This game shouldn't be close. If anything, I can see the Texans putting up something like 10 points, maybe. But definitely should be an easy game for the Colts. We might have some plays. It's like, all right, what are you doing from the offense? But I feel like defensively, they're going to bring it. Like I said, we mentioned Gus Bradley. He got his guy in Yannick that he has very familiarity to, and that's one thing Eberflus didn't have. He didn't have a guy like Yannick, so I wouldn't put all the blame on that. He was missing a few pieces, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But I feel like Gus Bradley can carry that turnover motion that Eberflus did bring. I feel like he can have that same momentum, but we did add pieces, so that definitely is a bonus for us. But guys like on the Houston Texans to look out for is guys like Kruger Hill, Kursky, Derek Stingley, Damian Pierce could be a question mark. Jerry Hughes and Jalen Petrie is a guy that they added at the safety core with Reed that can be a huge boost for the Texans. But like I said, at the end of the day, I just don't think it's enough because we have the experience in Matt Ryan, and he's going to hold people accountable in week one, no matter who it is. I feel like that's what we need because Carson Wentz didn't have that. He just wasn't aggressive enough, in my opinion. So having Matt Ryan here in week one, I feel like it's going to be turning a lot of heads, and all the predictions is probably going to be coming to a reality when we win our week one game.
Honestly, man, I'm just tired of losing these week ones, especially against week ones that you should absolutely win. You should absolutely win. That's the bottom line. All right. And you have to set a tone in this season. 5 division games in the first 7 weeks. One of them being against the Titans. 2 of them being in the first 2 weeks of the season. You got to set a tone for the team. You have to. And if I just wonder, I would pay to know what the mindset is like inside the locker room. I got a pretty good idea from people that I've spoke with, but I just want to know what is inside the mind, what is inside their heart. Everybody who walked off Jacksonville, and we saw it on Hard Knocks, right? They were pissed off. They were embarrassed. They should be walking into Houston with the same feeling. That's what, if I was Frank Reich, that's what I would be preaching to this team. All that pain, all that hurt, all that embarrassment that you felt in Jacksonville, carry that with you in Houston and beat the brakes off their behind. And then we get revenge the week later that we can really do some damage and make a statement. So there's really not much else to talk about with this matchup. The Colts should absolutely win in Houston. If they don't, boy, I just might be leading the hot seat talks for a Ballard or a Wright conversation. There is no reason why you should lose this week one matchup against a team who is projected to have the number 1 overall pick next April. Unacceptable. You better win. And I'm hoping they will, obviously. So before we get into predictions, man, anything else you got to say about this game?
Nope. Win week one. This is a statement game. Get it done. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple, like McDonald's chicken. All right, so here we go. My predictions for this game, I am going to go with the Colts, 30-14. I think for everything that we have said, obviously, after all the things that we just said, I think the reason why I have it 30-14 is really not so much because of how good I think that the Colts could possibly be, But I do believe in Davis Mills a little bit. I do believe in he showed some good stuff his rookie year. Out of all rookies that played and started last year, he was the best one. And I don't think it was close. Justin Fields was horrible. Zach Wilson was horrible. Trevor Lawrence was horrible unless he was playing the Colts. He was horrible. And Davis Mills is out here leading 2 game-winning drives, having some consistency, and commanding the offense. So 30-14, I feel good about that. Again, when it comes down to talent, I just think the Colts overpower the Texans in every aspect. In every aspect. At any other position, the only position I think the Texans are better at than the Colts is left tackle. Laramie Tunsil over Matt Pryor. That's the only position. And that shouldn't be the reason why you lose this game. So 30-14 is what I have it, and hoping the Colts walk out of week 1 with the W.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that we mentioned Davis Mills being the best one out of that class. But to be honest, the best person out of that class wasn't even playing last year, and that's Trey Lance. So I feel like, yeah, you can give it to Davis Mills because everybody else is freaking food at quarterback position. But Trey Lance is definitely the best one out of that class. For Larry Tunsil's sake, I'm not even sure if he's playing on Sunday. So that is a huge question mark going forward. So, but yeah, I will give my prediction is 27-10. I don't think it'll be 30. But I do think the Texans will find some type of momentum, but it'll just be too late. Honestly, I feel like Davis Mills will probably have a solid game, but it'll probably be a lot of more fourth and outs than actual turnovers. So I think it's going to be 27-10. Davis Mills has a decent game. Pierce, he has some type of flashes, but he won't actually do anything. But the Colts would just outduel the Texans in general. I think the defense would be stout, and I think the offense would be led by Jonathan Taylor, if anything. The wide receivers would do a little something. That's if Paris Campbell goes off, because we still have to find the new father of the Houston Texans.
That is true. And the Texans did make some moves, like trading a guy like Ross Blacklock, who I thought as a nose tackle, obviously not just because he's a former TCU Horned Frog, but he was a solid one tech in the league. And I think losing that piece definitely helps the Colts in their run game on Sunday because, Ross Blacklock wasn't setting the world on fire. I'm not trying to say that, but he was definitely better than Malik Collins. I'll say that. So, that is a loss that they're taking. They have a couple injuries here that, they're questionable right now heading into it. But for the Colts, they should be going into week 1 healthy. The only question mark right now is Shaquille Leonard. Is he going to play or not? He wasn't put on IR, he won't miss the first 4 games. So the Colts feel real good about where he is at. Will he play? We won't know until tomorrow or today, whenever you're listening to this. When Frank Reich gives official word. But all signs point to the Colts going to Houston week 1 healthy and hopefully getting the dub in H-Town and solving Houston's problem. So, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the kickoff show, the kickoff to the 2022 NFL season. I am Michael Pevia. I will be here all season long. Producer, content coordinator of the Blue Stable. We got Marcus, who's going to be joining me all season long for the Blue Stable. Any other closing remarks, Marcus?
Statement game, get the job done.
Man, just get the damn job done so we can stop talking about this. All right. I mean, we gotta deal with this for 2 weeks. You haven't won in week 1 for 8 years, and you haven't won in Jacksonville for another 8 years. So we're gonna deal with these storylines for 2 weeks. Let's get them out of the way, right their wrongs, and let's make everything happen for the Colts. So obviously, guys, thank you again for this edition. We are transitioning into a new era of the Blue Stable. Thank you for following. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. It means so much to us, as always. And if you would like to catch more Colts content, because we're going to have a bunch for you this season, entertaining, knowledgeable content for you guys, subscribe to the Blue Stable on YouTube. He is Marcus. I'm Michael Pevia. We'll see you next week, and hopefully talking about a W. We'll see you post game on Sunday.